now we've determined our axes, but it's not enough for us to just know how we're going to differentiate. We have to actually differentiate. In fact, if we say we're something and we don't actually show up that way and we don't actually deliver on that, we're not just not building trust, we're actually breaking trust. So saying we're a certain way, being able to differentiate ourselves, and consistently delivering upon those promises is how we build trust. So that's why the extreme exercise is so important. It lets us get consistent with our touch points. It gives us a North Star for us to align our touch points. Otherwise, we would have just, I don't know, made our website a certain way because we thought it looked nice. We might have had our staff greet our patients a certain way just because we thought that would be a nice way to do it. But now with the extremes exercise, you can lean into your angles. You can lean into how you want to serve your how you want to serve your core patient group the best. So there's touch points. What are touch points? They're every interaction that happens with the patient. It's what they notice about your business. So here, the event, the thing that goes in here, is touch points. I'll just call this TP so I can write it a bit bigger. But their experience of you is the event that we're focused on. So what you say, what your receptionist says when they call in, how your website looks, the decor of your office, all these different things, all these different interactions are all touch points, and they exist at different phases. We don't only care about the touch points that happen before the appointment so that we get them in. If we break our touch points, if we violate their trust later, what happens is this tension loop gets broken and we don't get them through this entire phase of pre-appointment, first visit, treatment, and then retention. And retention is really where it's at. So we want to make sure that we're keeping our promises and keeping the way that say we're gonna be. So extreme touch points, they allow us to be different, obviously, which allows us to be noticeable. They allow us to be better in their eyes by aligning more with their belief systems. And when we're better, we become memorable. And because extreme positioning is a guide, it allows us to be consistent. And if we're consistently better, we become the best. If we're consistent, we can build up this trust meter. Every time we say what we're going to do, we build up this trust meter. Every time we say we're going to do something and then we don't, it's not that we don't build it up, it's that we actually break it. So by being consistent, it lets us consistently build stuff upwards. And trust is obviously very important for a lot of things, but what will happen is everyone has a different level of comfortability of how much trust they need to have before they start being an advocate. And so what we want to do is consistently build trust, obviously, and make sure that they're okay advocating for your brand. I'm sure there's a lot of brands, there's a lot of practices that people wouldn't feel comfortable referring their friends and family over to. So this is how we build trust. It's through being able to deliver a consistent experience that is aligned with the extremes, that the belief systems of the core patient group that we determined say is better. And through repeated, it becomes best, it becomes the choice, and we get to keep the tension, we get to keep this thing going, and we can also build consistent meaning now. So here we have consistent events because of our touch points. We've designed it to be a certain extreme, which align and are better. And so therefore, if our events are interpreted as better, that means we're affecting the meaning. So we get consistent meaning, which allows us to affect consistent feeling. So this is why extremes are so important. And this is the entire impact we can have just from identifying how we're going to differentiate and just living what we say we're going to do. Again, it's good to do this extreme and not go like, okay, we're going to be the best at everything, because we don't have the resources to be the best at everything. Like, we don't have the resources to be the best X, Y, Z, and etc. Like, we can only choose 2 or 3 things that we're going to choose to be the best at, and we're going to do that really well. So yeah, that's the entire strategy for touch points. I hope that made sense. One other thing that I want to add real quick is the idea of functional signals. So when it comes to touch points, there's also some functional signals that we have to embark on the person that we don't want to miss. So a good example of this is, let's say you're a watchmaker. So you're competing with things like Rolex, Patek Philippe, etc. And one of your touch points, let's say, is that the person's experience wearing the watch. You have to have that in there. If they don't get to experience the watch, they're probably not going to buy a very expensive piece, because what they're doing when they're engaging with that touch point is they're looking for functional signals. Is this thing legit? Does it weigh like I expect it to? Is it actually made of the material? Are all the things that give it validity as a culture, does that exist? The only reason gold is valuable is because we all decided it's valuable. Does it live up to the values of the culture? These are all functional signals. So yeah, I think that's it. And then in the next one, we're gonna look at how to, we're actually gonna design our touch points in a very impactful way so you get all these benefits.